It's the Buddhist gift-giving time, so the excited chatter of children in the background is to be expected at this time of year. Take a deep breath and settle in. Feel the weight of the body pressing against this loving earth. Feel how the bottom of the body, back of the legs, knees, the feet. Just notice what is touching the earth. Feel this touch to be most precious, however those thoughts land for you. Invite the mind to value connection, physical contact. As you're breathing in and out, notice how that contact is altered by the breath. I feel a sort of tug up at that contact point when I breathe in, and I feel a sort of sinking into that connection when I breathe out. Notice how our sense of gravity at one point changes through the breath. It can feel heavier on an out breath and lighter on an in breath. Maybe that's a new perception for you. So let me be quiet and let's see if you can notice. Part of meditation is sensitizing our hearts to new subtleties, new delicate, joyful ways of playing and perceiving. Feeling the breath lift and sink at that contact point. Now noticing the rhythm of the breath. Whether it's slow or fast. Where does the mind land does the mind construct as a feature when I say the word breathing? What makes you say, oh, that's where my mind goes when I notice breathing? It might be the abdomen. It sort of floats out and floats in. For some people, it's a feeling of brightness in the heart, radiance. It might feel relaxing in certain ways. Might be a delicate tickle underneath the nostrils where the air is sort of sucked in and it sort of tickles that upper lip. There's a sort of cooler air when it comes in, and that warmer air as it tickles out the nostrils over the upper lip. These are useful perceptions for bringing the breath into our awareness. Now I ask you to just choose an area where the mind can rest on a breath object. Notice where your mind wants to land. There are usually principal areas. People generally don't choose a hair follicle or the clavicle or the rib. Just notice where your mind lands. We're going to enter into a relationship with that object where the mind lands. We're going to snuggle with it. And in so doing, we're going to train our mind, to stay in connection. Meditation is about being in connection. We're going to sort of activate our awareness of that sensory field that tells us we're breathing. We're going to snuggle in, that is, relax around it. So we're activating that sort of, what is that, gamma frequency that is both calming, healing, regenerative, but it's wakeful as well. And we're doing that by activating a relationship with a perception, an object of the breath. And we're merging with it. coming home, rather. We're running away from ourselves all day long, all year long. And we're finally heeding the call to come back to the heart. So nowhere to run. There's no need to hide. Let the breath in its gentle movements call you home. Heed the call. Into the surge. At home with whatever's arising. A welcoming gesture to sounds, feelings, memories, whatever's arising. You can just note the mere objectivity of what's arising. Sounds, hearing, thoughts and perceptions, cognition, sensing contact with the ground, with the breath. Keep inclining the mind towards sort of natural focus. If you're struggling with feeling at home with yourself, right here and right now, because we're not used to being told just to be as we are. The world is telling us to be otherwise. We come from a wanting economy. In meditation, we incline the mind towards a not wanting economy. Already having that sense of being, of satisfaction that is always there in the breath. That's what we're looking for. praising the contentment of just being here. Celebrating what we have is enough. There's a kind of all systems go checklist feeling when we breathe. There's no part of the breath that's not happy with whatever's arising. You feel that sense of goodness and health, mental health, always available to us. State of balance-centeredness. It's a intuitive feeling that we're working with. Doesn't have to be anything more than fundamental okayness. Even the thought, it might be noisy, all the children excited and laughing. Something in you might be saying, it's not okay. Or you might have an ache or a pain that's saying it's not okay. But you can let that arise within the sort of spacious awareness that has the capacity to hold and be okay even with that voice in us that's saying something's not okay. That's really important. If you can at least catch a glimpse of how far of a reach your self-compassion can go, how we can meet those voices within us that are saying this is not okay, that's not okay. There's a sort of rising energy to meet life as it is. Sort of readiness. We see the truth that we are friends even to those views, and maybe it's a traumatized child inside of us whose voice has been stifled and it wants to speak. And yes, we are the loving adults that can meet that child and let it speak. And keep opening to whatever voices wish to speak within us. And keep meeting them with loving attention without clinging or identifying. So you can see this surrender to what is not passive. One of the most gently loving, active things you'll ever do. To deeply love. We find that edge between awareness, attention, soft surrender, and active, loving acceptance. There's a number of people at the no control board rejecting things. But we can stand with each one of those frantic no button pushers. You can feel that inner power by saying yes with love and compassion. So call it energetics. It alters the breath. And vibrates the body with an almost excitement. Possibilities of what love can bring. We enter a universe of loving, not just a world. A world can't exist without a universe. The two are inseparable. To play with the different harmonies of loving what is. We can practice in silence for the remaining of the hour. Indulging in opening, indulging in nearness, non-rejection, giving freedom to proximity with whatever's arising. Creating space around things that suck our attention, pull the life out of us. We can re-infuse, re-enchant by giving our highest selves whatever is arising. Eventually the mind will quiet down. It'll be just breathing. It'll be felt like an expansion and a contraction, just like the universe expanding and contracting. Let the mind merge out of itself. keep entering into friendship with the world as it is arising, presenting itself to you, meeting it with friendliness, a friendly heart. Let the secret power of friendship point the way. As our loving friendship with whatever's arising. Mere mental attitude can point the way in times of difficulty. Cultivating a friendly heart shouldn't be taken for granted. We don't just assume that we have a loving heart. We offer opportunities for our heart to love more and more deeply. We challenge, we stretch. We use the breath to challenge and to stretch. We use images in the mind. We use the empty silence of attention. As the spacious church in which we can operate our loving attitude towards the world. We educate those fragments within us. We shed light on parts of us that believe not loving is wise, that we don't want to look at, but we believe we have to be opposed to certain things in life to succeed. And that's hard to look at. It's not quite in line with our principles. But we learn to love that too. Some of that might have taught us to survive in certain circumstances, to deal with things, to cope. It's not an opportunity to change, it's just an opportunity to stretch, to open. To relax any tension. In that opening. Till we see that openness is our true nature. It's our natural state. It's nature itself within us. Expressing itself as open arms. can mentally call forth any objects that need loving in your life. Objects as in perceptions of people or things, past, future, present, whatever. And just radiate with that abundant, infinite flow of loving presence. Radiate that presence to all those here today, to all your loved ones. Radiate that loving presence from the heart in all directions, throughout the globe. Share it with our political decision makers, no matter their labels. Share it with all the furry little animals, all the birds of the sky, the fish, organisms in the sea, from the highest mountaintops to the lowest valleys, and the deepest troughs of our oceans. May all beings live happily, be friendly, and be free.